everyone, it's Haze. In today's video we're once again going to be doing the Miraculous Monday meme review where my friend Hedge, although I think Bush and I have helped him this week, goes through the internet and finds me the very best Miraculous memes and I react to them, and this time I am going to try my best to not ramble as much, but I make zero promises. However, like I said, this is going to be a blind reaction, so I don't know what Hedge / Bush have got surprised for me, so I don't know what I'm going to be saying yet, but usually as these videos go I end up discussing and speculating about the rest of season 5. However, I haven't read the show Bible or seen any of the leaks and I don't want to know. And a lot of people watch me because they also don't want to know, so I would really appreciate it if you don't confirm or deny anything I say or don't tell me what happens instead. If you can't leave a comment without mentioning any of the leaks, then I would just rather that you didn't at all. So I think that's all I've got to say, so let's get started with the meme review, besties. Okay, so the first meme, season 4 Hawkmoth, excuse me, Shadow Daddy season 4. If we're discussing season 4, we gotta call him Shadow Daddy, I get it right. Was so ridiculously hilarious the entire season. He was, yeah, Shadow Daddy was an absolute icon. The toilet scene in Optigami, amazing, with the, I already forgot what they're called from Dearest Family. Galettes? The weird pie thing that Tiki went absolutely crazy over. Shadow Daddy was an absolute mood, and I think honestly the proudest achievement in my whole life is getting a large group of people to collectively call the antagonist of this very popular children's TV show Daddy. I am nearing the end of my PhD. And this is my most proud achievement. Not the PhD, not getting a book published, not anything else I've done. That's really bad. I'm proud though. I think it's a great achievement. Okay, next meme. You just tricked your uncle. You saw your aunt's corpse in his basement. Right, okay, technically, Emily isn't dead if you go on like all the family tree on the wiki stuff, and I mean personally I find the Miraculous wiki to be pretty reliable, so maybe I'm just being taken for a mug, but I find it pretty reliable. If you look on the family tree for Adrian, there's a cross next to Colt's name, Felix's dad, so Felix's dad is definitely dead, whereas Emily, there is no cross. Emily is technically alive. The way I've always viewed it, like I know I'd say she's like in a coffin or whatever and it's the murder basement, I know he hasn't killed her, it's just a joke, but she's like on life support in that machine. That's why Joe in Party Crasher all the power goes out or whatever, or like they reroute it in the house to all go up to Adrian's room, and Gabriel gets really worried because it like goes to Emily's like it's like a backup battery, I guess, I'm not really sure what it is exactly, because she's like on life support in some kind of induced coma almost. That's kind of how I view it. It's not an actual dead body, but you know, it'd still be pretty traumatizing. Like up until this point Felix has been like, my auntie is dead / missing. Oh look, I found her! I am still a bit confused. Maybe it's just because I don't fully like Felix yet. Like, I find it like, I was talking to, who was I talking to this about? Was it Ahmed the other night? I can't remember. I was talking to someone about Felix, and don't get me wrong, he's definitely grown on me since his debut episode. But I remember Thomas Astruck tweeting after episode 9 in season 4, Daddy Aggressed aired the other year, and he was like, so do we all like Felix now? And everyone in the replies was like, oh my god, yes, I love Felix, I love Felix. And I was sat there, I was like, no, like, no, like, whilst yes, he's definitely grown on me since then with what's happened in season 5 so far with Felix. First of all, in his debut episode he tried to force a kiss on Ladybug and he just hasn't apologised for it, and I just, no. Sorry, maybe I'll never fully love Felix the way other people do, and I understand there's like more to the situation than that. He's not like a, you know, a black and white character. He has like bits of like grey morals, I guess is probably the best way to do it, because he's an anti-hero right now. But like, no. I don't fully like Felix, but yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to see her body in the basement either. But like I was saying, like, I'm still not 100% sure why he hasn't said anything yet. I guess it could be from the perspective of trying to protect Adrian, but I don't know, I feel like, I always ask my friends this, like I tell them, like if I was dating someone and you found out the person, like my boyfriend or whatever, was cheating on me, like, tell me. I'd want to know. Like, would it hurt? Yes, but I'd want to know. So if my mum was the one doing this and my cousin found out, I would want him to tell me. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but I would want him to tell me, and right now I'm a bit like confused as to why Felix hasn't said anything. I guess it's possibly because, like I said, he's not like a full hero yet. He's still very much an anti-hero, so he's not like for example, if this was Alia who'd found that, like Alia, no hesitation, she would have found any way, even if at that point she hadn't known Ladybug's identity, Alia would have found any way possible to tell Ladybug or Cat Noir what had happened, who was Hawkmoth, what was going on in this man's basement. Whereas Felix doesn't, and I guess as we saw in Emotion, he wants the Miraculous too, although I do hope he's changing his mind on that. So yeah, because like my hope for Felix is he's gonna help Ladybug and Cat Noir ultimately, but yeah. So Felix is a strange one. Don't get me wrong, he's definitely grown on me since his debut, but I'm still a bit like, about him. He's not my favourite, but I don't hate him. I'm kind of neutral towards Felix. He does bring a lot of drama to the table, but Felix is literally just a plot device. They just bring him in when something interesting happened, and when it's done, like, okay, bye Felix, you can go now. So it's a bit strange. But anyway, next meme. Girls, it's only one boy, it's going to be easy. The boy, oh boy. That is a boy. I've said boy too many times now it sounds strange. Boy. I mean, I also see people complain before we get to the meme exactly. I see mainly male people in the fandom complaining about the emphasis on girls, and I'm like, the whole series is meant to be about girl power. Don't get me wrong, they aren't leaving the boys out, although I do wish some of the boys got more screen time, like an episode like Party Crasher. That was a great episode. I want like a more like boys episode like that again, that would be great. But like, it's meant to be about girl power. Like, there are already loads and loads of series about superheroes anyway that in my opinion empower boys, so maybe have one about girls. Like when I was growing up, obviously because I'm not the target audience anymore, but when I was the age of the target audience, I have 3 brothers. All 3 of them like all had like their different shows with like really strong male role models in, and I didn't really have any of that. I would have loved a show like Miraculous when I was the age of the target audience, so I'm really glad it's happening now. But anyway, back to Cat Blanc. Oh boy, he is destructive. I do want to see him again, and I would also, even if we don't see him again, I would just like Ladybug to tell him, because she still hasn't told him. But also I'm a bit confused why she hasn't been more traumatised by it, because the whole time during season 4 I thought the reason she was pushing Cat Noir away was due to Cat Blanc, and she was like, we can't get close to each other, I can't fall in love with you, and she was pushing him away in favour of Alia, who she didn't have like any preconceived notion because she hadn't seen the future where Alia had been akumatized and destroyed the whole world. So that's why she was bringing Alia in but pushing Cat Noir away, even if at first, because I feel like at first it was kind of like more of a subconscious thing she was doing, and she didn't even realise she was doing it until like episode 16 really. But like, now I'm not even so sure why she was pushing Cat Noir away, other than she had Alia who she could confide in completely because she didn't have to keep secrets from her anymore. That's the only really reason I can think of. And I just felt like Cat Blanc was such a good motivation, and they pretty much ignored it. And the only time it was brought up was in Strike Back, where they're all getting annoyed with each other and Cat Noir's like, it's fine, we can't get akumatized, and then she has like a little flash of image, and I'm like, I feel like they could have explored that a lot more. And then also this season, another thing that doesn't make sense in terms of love score is that we were getting the reverse, where Marinette kind of had like that crush on Cat Noir for a bit, and it never once crossed her mind about Cat Blanc. She never mentioned it. Unless I've forgotten it, I'm pretty sure she's never mentioned about Cat Blanc. Like, if I was Marinette, my main worry would be falling in love with Cat Noir, because Marinette doesn't know the events anymore that led up to Cat Blanc. All she knows is she gave Adrian a present, and somehow from that led to Cat Blanc. She doesn't understand the sequence of events there. So she doesn't even know. All she knows is from what Cat Blanc said is that our love destroyed the world. But she was just like, okay, whatever, I'm gonna have a crush on him in season 5. She didn't care in the slightest, and I'm like, huh? I just feel like they forget about Cat Blanc all the time. And I don't know, maybe I'm just placing too much importance on it, but I feel like it was a really important episode. Whether or not you like the episode or not, I feel like it was a really important one, and they're just like, lol, no, forget about it. Okay. Anyway, next meme. Gabriel aggressed, it's daddy aggressed, okay? Running your company, or maybe seeing a psychiatrist, or maybe being a decent parent, or just literally downloading Tinder. I would love to see him on Tinder. Anyway, he says no to that, but he says yeah to flying across the globe to manipulate an American domestic terrorist into stealing a magical artifact. Oh, okay. They're making said terrorist wield it in order to manipulate other heroes into destabilizing the country, and all of us starting nuclear Armageddon, all in an attempt to convince two teenagers to give up their magical sources of power so you can revive your wife's corpse, which is momentarily in the basement freezer. Yes! I agree. I mean, what else is he supposed to do? Tinder? No, there's so many weirdos on Tinder. That's why I don't have Tinder. I don't date, okay? I don't have time for dating. Like, sometimes I'm like, I wish I had a boyfriend, and other times I'm like, first of all, the amount of people I see on the internet crying about what their boyfriend has done, I'm like, you know what? I don't have the mental capacity to deal with someone else messing me around, okay? I'll just mess myself around and deal with my own emotions. But also, secondly, I don't have the time, even if I didn't have a PhD to do. I spend so much time making videos and stuff, and like, spoilers come out at the drop of a hat. Like, when Glue aired that episode, it was so close to Valentine's Day, and it was like, it's a bloody good job I'm not dating anyone, or they'd be so annoyed with me. Like, I'm sorry, we're gonna have to cancel our plans. I have to make a video about this kids' TV show. And I don't know what's gonna happen at the end of this season, but they've said Gabriel's still gonna be in the show, so I'm hoping things will be okay-ish. I mean, obviously it won't be completely okay, nothing will ever be okay again in terms of, especially the Aggress family dynamic, but I would love to see Gabriel and Natalie date. Please. That's all I want. Anyway, next meme. Oh, please no, hedge. Okay, so Cat Noir upgrade to, Cat Blanc upgrade to, Blanc, but no, I was gonna say Blanc Banana Noir. Banana blanket would be, yeah, banana blanket, sorry, got it wrong. I mean, I think it'd be perfect. Hedge, what's your problem? What's wrong? Banana blank? Image of perfection. What's wrong with you, Hedge? How dare you? Alright, next meme. Sometimes all a person needs is that one missing piece. Ladybug and Cat Noir revealing their identities, confessing their love, getting a pet hamster, getting married, and living happily. Yes. Honestly, at this point, I'm living vicariously through them. Like I said before, I don't have time to have a boyfriend. The only time I have to indulge in romance is by watching these two idiots. So, yeah, honestly, I feel like after, like, this season ends, I feel like I will have reached a peak in my life, and that it can't get any better from here. I feel like it just will be downhill from that point onwards. Maybe that's too dramatic. But do you watch my videos for someone who is calm and reasonable? No. You watch it for a 26-year-old woman who's obsessed with a kids' TV show and is just ever so slightly unhinged that it's funny and not painful to watch. That's what I think you're here for. If you want someone like more reasonable, go and watch Cartoon Apocalypse, okay? Not me. Okay, next meme. You hold all the keys, Ladybug, and you'll be the most magnificent of guardians. She's done a good job though. Not as long as I am alive, old man. Okay, Felix, bit mean. Like, she is a magnificent guardian. Despite all of this going on, she's been amazing. Look, if I was Marinette, I would have given up at the first Mr. Pigeon. I'd be like, no, sorry, someone else can have it, you can have it back. I wouldn't want it. But if I managed to stay up until the end of Strike Back, I would have sacked it in there. I'd be like, goodbye, Cat Noir, have my Miraculous. Yes, it's me, it's Marinette's. Give it to someone else. Because I am done. I couldn't handle it. She has done an amazing job. I could not go on like that after failing so spectacularly. I am sorry, I could not do it. Anyway, next meme. Cat Noir winning Cataclysm Monarch. Sad times. Cat Noir ready to Cataclysm Dark Owl an episode later. You know, they were very different circumstances. He was like doing it in destruction to threaten him, to be like, don't leave or I'm gonna hurt you or whatever. Whereas the Darker Owl one, that was, I haven't rewatched Jubilation since, which I think, depending what happens with Gloob, is going to be the next screaming session. But oh boy, Jubilation was a wild ride from what I remember. And I feel like I would have the same response if I was Cat Noir in that moment. If you put me with the guy I liked and showed us like our possible future together and even given us children, I'd be like pretty angry and upset. So whilst it was a lot, I do understand. Next meme. Ladybug finally falling in love with Cat Noir after season 4, which constitutes of 104 episodes. Cat Noir who just needed 1 episode. Hedge, damn it, it's the green hair, isn't it? I knew I should have dyed mine. Look, I'm not a big fan of green hair. I still wish they just gave him brown hair. I still don't really understand why it was green. But like, it just shows what kind of guy Marinette likes. Cat Walker was basically Adrian as a superhero, as in like Adrian how he presents himself in civilian life, because Cat Noir and Adrian, their personalities are quite different, and I feel like Adrian's true personality, I've said this before, but it lies somewhere in between the two of them, like someone who's not as reserved as Adrian, but not someone who's quite as flirty as Cat Noir. He like has 2 extremes of his personality, depending which like face he's showing, but I feel like he truthfully is somewhere in the middle. So Cat Walker was kind of like the Adrian version of a superhero, hence why Marinette liked him. Obviously confirms how much she likes Adrian, since as soon as she saw like the version of him as a superhero, she was like, him, I want to date him. So the final meme of the meme review besties is the viewer meme submission. So if you want to submit the meme, as Hedge says on the screen, you basically join the Discord server, which is linked in the description, and you find the meme review viewer submission channel and you submit your meme. It has to be a meme you've made, not one you found if you just want to show a meme to everyone. We have a different channel for that, but for the meme review it has to be a meme you've made. And just in general, come and join the Discord. It's a fun time. As Hedge says, you can hang out with all of us. In my opinion, it's for the most part a really nice community. I love it, and we have plenty of mods if anything goes down that we can easily sort, so do not worry besties. I'm on there myself like roughly for about an hour every evening in like the UK, so like 7 PM UK time to about 8 PM UK time. Varies slightly depending what's gone down. I'm often only not on there if I'm ill or away on holiday. So this week's winner is Steph W. Stay Bold. Gabriel, did you like my villain musical number, Haze? No, absolutely not. I was reading the comments this morning, so I'm filming this on a Tuesday, so the screaming session went up yesterday. Reading through the comments on the screaming session, and in this the video I played like the first like, I don't know, 2 notes of the song, and someone was like, they tagged the timestamp of it and they were like, I was really scared you were gonna replay it, and I was like, no. So what I do with the screaming session is I obviously go through and take screenshots of the episode before I write the script and record and edit it obviously. When it got to that point in the episode with the song where I had to take screenshots, I muted my computer. Like, I usually rewatch the episode, have a fun time as I write the script and get screenshots. I just muted it. All the screenshots from the dance section up until Natalie comes in were taken on mute because I can't do it. Maybe I wouldn't have such an adverse reaction if the show had been a musical all the way through, because don't get me wrong, I love musicals. I love them so much. I used to be in a drama group in my town where I live when I was a teenager. I think I went from like 14 to 18, so I was there like 4 or 5 years. I used to be like all the musicals at school, like we regularly go to London to watch musicals. I love musicals. I'm really looking forward to the film because it's going to be a musical. But it's really jarring when suddenly a show that definitely has not been a musical. I know there were songs in the Christmas special, but I mean, first of all, they were terrible, but also second of all, it was a special, so I don't mind as much since it was like just a one-off and I didn't think it was going to happen again. And to be fair, it hadn't until this season. So it's just so jarring to me because it's not a musical show. Like, I really love, it's not on anymore, but if you know the TV show Glee, I love that show. I love it. I think it's great. And there's songs all the way through. There's like at least 3 songs per episode. So like, I love musicals. But something like Glee, it was a musical the whole way through. The film for Miraculous, I would assume, is also going to be a musical all the way through. They're not going to like do the film and then it gets to the last 20 minutes and everyone suddenly breaks out into a song. That would just be weird. So if Miraculous had been a musical the whole way through, I'd be fine with it. Like, would I find this song a little bit cringy? Yeah, definitely. but I like musicals. It's because it's so jarring, and I was just like, what? I didn't like it. Didn't like it. It 100% made me cry, and maybe that was a slight over-exaggeration, but let me tell you about that morning. So my mum was in London and she was coming back that day, and my little brother had to go to London that day for a really important audition, and he was coming back on the same train as her. And if you live in the UK at the minute, you'll know we're having a lot of difficulties with the trains. First of all, with all the striking, and second of all, just like general maintenance of the train tracks and stuff like that. So I'd already put my phone on Do Not Disturb the night before when the episode comes out, which is something I always do. The only thing that comes through the Do Not Disturb is my alarm to wake me up, because I don't want to get notifications about the episode. Like when I look at my phone to check the time or to turn the alarm off, I will seal the notifications and I don't want to see them. So because I'd already put my phone on Do Not Disturb, my mum was trying to call me but she couldn't get through. So she rang one of my other brothers, because I have 3. She rang my other brothers. My brother burst into my room. I was still asleep. He was like, Haze, get up, I need your help. And I was like, it was like 6 AM. I was like, what could you possibly want at this time? And he was like, Mum has tried to call you but she can't get through for some reason because my phone was on Do Not Disturb, which she probably did know, but because she was panicking, she obviously wasn't thinking about that. So my brother was like, she said her train home is cancelled, and my youngest brother's train home has also been cancelled because they get the same train, but his train going was cancelled and he absolutely needed to get to London. So I was like, right, okay, let's do this, let's sort this out. So we were running around trying to get a train to London, my brother sorted, and back from London so they could actually get home that night. I also had like loads of house chores to do since my mum wasn't here, so I had to do all the washing and the windows and stuff like that. Then of course I had to film the reaction and then film the commentary, make notes, edit the whole thing, make sure it was up in time, make the thumbnail, because like usually, I know I'm talking fast because I can feel the stress of the day. I was really stressed that morning. Usually we get like a lot more trailers for the episode, so I can like partially pre-make the thumbnail so I have less work to do on the day the video goes up. But we'd only got that really small trailer, the official trailer. Gloob didn't really give us anything else, so I wasn't able to do that. So I had a lot of stuff to do before the video was gonna go up, but like I usually aim for 2 to 3 PM on the day the episode comes out. So I had a lot to do and I was already stressed, and then this happened as well. So by the time I sat down to do the reaction, we managed to get my brother on the train, we managed to get them a train home, and I'd done all the chores around the house. So I was like, ah, okay, time for this. So because I was so stressed, I ended up crying because of Gabriel. If all that hadn't happened, I doubt I would have had such a reaction. But it had, so that was the context for that day. If none of that had happened, I don't think I would have cried, but I was already so stressed. I just burst into tears. I was like, I can't take this today, not today. Oh god. Anyway, besties, that is it for this week's meme review. I'd love to know what you think, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!